With Blue Link Plus, you can access your Hyundai Tucson Limited remotely. Doors unlocked, temperature set, lost car found.
There it is.
Get complimentary class-leading Blue Link Plus. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
The following is a GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to GoPowerCat.com's PowerCat Overtime podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor, and it starts right now. Now, let's go to the WTC Gig-Powered Studios. Here's your host, GoPowerCat.com publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the Overtime. It's Friday, and it's time to have some fun. I know it's Friday and you don't feel like you're on overtime. You're just on the last day of your work week. But to us, it means now we've done all of our serious podcasting for the week, and we're going to give you this, the Overtime. Last week I called it stupid. I would like to apologize to my own podcast for insulting it so outlandishly.
Aww.
It is
America
without boundaries. It is
America. May God thy gold refine.
the Freedom Podcast. It can do and be whatever it aspires to be. After you ask stupid questions and we give stupid answers.
And every gain divine.
We gonna do a overtime in Memphis?
We're gonna do it all in Memphis. I am currently prepping the road trip podcast kit.
Dope.
Murder kit.
It's like a murder kit without the lime to break down the body.
No, wouldn't do that.
Or the shovel. Or it's, in fact, there's nothing in the podcast kit that would be in a murder kit.
I disagree.
My murder kit, you're gonna kill someone with a microphone?
The mic cords? That's so much rope.
Oh, yeah. What do they kill?
And it's sturdy.
Like, that's some good stuff that we bought.
Man, this is how we
Those are threaded.
investigated.
Those ones are like threaded. They can really dig into the skin. Oh, yeah. Plot and murder on the podcast. Unfortunately, there's no one I want to murder.
Unfortunately, he says.
Damn it. Let me think. Who could possibly look at me? Ooh, someone at the Holiday Inn, the Media Hotel, gives me side eye.
Stop telling people what we're doing.
Don't tell people where we're going to be.
We'll be at the Holiday Inn in downtown Memphis.
And our room number is
811.
Come on by. Just drop in. Like you do when you sit down while my wife and I are eating dinner and ask me questions.
He's still mad about it.
Well, I'm not really mad about that. I'm mad then they went out and trashed me on a message board because I was a dick to them.
That's fair.
See, you're not famous. You don't have the famous, like, hey, I'm eating right now. We can take a picture after.
They don't wanna-
You're not that famous.
Nobody wants a picture with me. Unless they want to look like the better person in a picture. I aspire to be the other guy in someone's Twitter Abby.
Yeah.
Because technically, when there's more than one person, the ugliest person, that's their Twitter account. They're trying to upgrade their own looks by glomming on to their friends or others.
Cheerleader effect.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what I do when I post pictures with my friends.
Right. So,
Except I'm usually the shortest one, so it kind of actually hurts me in the end of the day.
My friends are 7 foot.
Probably my best looking friend is 6'4".
that doesn't work well at all for you.
No.
Unless, what was that? What staff was that? Nebraska, where I saw an in-home visit and the coaches, and one of the coaches tiny. I got to look up who he is. He's tiny, and he's standing on the mantle he took his shoes off.
I did see that.
He's standing on the mantle, but then he had to bend down a little bit because he's not that short. Anyhow, I would love to be the other guy in someone's Twitter, Abby, because that means I'm the good-looking one, and the other guy's uglier than me.
He's so beautiful.
It's fair.
That's my dreams. We all have dreams. One of my dreams is to go to the Fridge Wholesale Liquor every day just to hang out, say hi.
But then my wallet says, "What are you doing?"
Because every time I go to the fridge, I've gotten to know everyone in there pretty well. It says a lot about you when you're friends with the people at the liquor store.
Just want everyone to love me, but I don't know how to make them do it.
And I just end up talking, shooting the you-know-what with the fellas. Good group in the fridge. Really, really quality people. If you buy liquor in Manhattan, please do it at the fridge. They've been good to us. They'll be good to you. And they're good to our segment sponsors that we have in the Questions podcast. We don't have one currently for the overtime. We're starting to think about one. I've got one kind of in mind.
Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
There's just one hang-up with it, and I need to run it by Kevin.
You should. Oh.
At the fridge.
So it's at the fridge.
Oh.
I'm confused.
All of our sponsors currently get their liquor from the fridge.
Okay.
Even Caddyshack Golf?
No. God knows where Brett gets his liquor from. Probably his neighbor's basement. But no, I think he's a fridge guy. I'm confident he's a fridge guy. All the cool kids are.
All right.
This is the overtime. You ask us, we answer. Doesn't have to be about K-State. Doesn't have to be about sports. Can be about our lives. Our fabulous, star-filled lives. The glamorous lives we lead in covering Kansas State sports for you. Like, for example, we have a private charter to Memphis.
We don't. It's not true.
Well, I'm calling my Durango a charter. So, I mean, there's a charter bus, right? You can get charter buses.
Should have taken a
You
Greyhound.
can get charter planes. We're having a charter SUV to go to Memphis. Private charter.
Should have taken a Greyhound.
Get there.
Somebody has a Cessna 172.
No, I'm not getting on a plane.
Nerd.
When you've had two friends die on small planes, you don't get on a small plane ever.
Good nerd.
Fair enough.
But I'll get on a helicopter. Makes sense of that.
What?
They're really dangerous.
Yeah.
They're really dangerous. Nah, actually, I won't. I'm too scared of falling, and helicopters feel like they're supposed to be falling. Don't they?
I don't think
more than planes.
I don't feel like there's a person on the earth that isn't afraid of falling.
Well, I just have a phobia about
the thing with the only problem with a helicopter is if your tail spinner or whatever breaks, then you're screwed.
Because then you're just doing circles.
But if your tail still works, but your top doesn't work, you can just float down real gracefully to the bottom. Then you live.
Okay, there you go. We've learned something.
What a great way to start.
It's just physics.
We have math and physics on the Overtime podcast. I don't know about if you'll learn anything from the rest of today, but you will learn this. This is the sound of our fan going on. There we go. These are your questions from Wabash Station.
From King Jim 77. What is the funniest prank you've heard about or participated in against a high school/college rival? His example is, they hung a pair of truck nuts on the Valley Heights Mustang statue.
Nice. I assume nice. I don't really know that rivalry, but okay. See, I went to school in the worst time frame possible in high school, where high school started to become nice about everything, and like even cheering against your opponent at games is like half the time frowned upon. Like,
can we all get along? Can we get along?
We seriously got warned at state basketball one year for like making noise when the other team had the ball.
Boo! You suck!
What?
That's horrible.
It's being a fan. Like, I don't know what to do. It's like we didn't get to do any cool things, and especially since we were at a private school, it just wasn't. Now, I heard a story that our school a while back went up to Beloit High. They have a Trojan statue at their football field, and they painted it blue, which is our colors. But it's weird because like we don't ever play them or anything. So like we're not rivals. We're just in the same town.
Seems like a bad fight to pick.
Yeah.
You're kind of outnumbered.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the school that's outnumbered in Beloit?
Right?
I mean, the big guys aren't that big, but they're a hell of a lot bigger than you.
So that's just what I heard happened. But I didn't get to experience anything cool because it was a bad time for high school.
I am not much of a prankster.
Oh, by the way, guys, I just wanted to remind you that I am a prankster. Not too much of a prankster, but I'm a prankster. I'll prank everyone. This morning, I pranked my brother.
Your friends weren't? Like, you didn't hear about any good
No,
pranks?
Central South, that was more like Jets and Sharks action. Like, we're going to fight, or we could dance. You know, it's like there's this underlying tension where we really didn't like each other, but nothing really happened.
Didn't take any signs?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there was pranks.
You lived in
eternity.
prime time prank time for high school.
No,
Nobody would have gotten mad.
It was already kind of going south. Even in the 80s, we were starting to get pressure about behavior, and I don't know. I'm just a happy-loving fella that likes everyone to get along.
People drove on our football field, and they thought it was a prank.
No, that was just someone drunk, probably.
No, they were sober.
Oh.
Why?
My favorite prank I've ever seen is when you seed someone's football field with your name or logo in it. So when the seed comes up, it's a different color, and that's a pretty good prank.
Somebody did that to our field, except with Roundup.
That's a bad prank.
Yeah. And wrote something.
Don't be cutting down
bad.
or poisoning a 150-year-old tree or something.
Tumor's Corners. Done.
I guess what I'm trying to say is we were the victim of some pranks more than anything. Thanks, King Jim.
Brought up some bad memories for you, didn't it?
It's annoying.
It also brought up some Brad memories for you. Damn it, Brad.
These were from before when I was in high school, but Manhattan High, Junction City rivalry. It was big when we were in high school. Apparently now, my sister, who works at the high school, she's like, yeah, Manhattan Junction City rivalry is not really that big anymore. She's like, half the school's dating someone from the other school. I'm like, oh.
That's what's interesting. It's really true. And that's how the world's changed from when I was in school, because you didn't have social media.
Yeah.
You literally, unless you played on a baseball team or you had co-friends. And what I mean by that is, like, your neighbor went to Sacred Heart in Salina and had friends from South and Central, and you all kind of had a bridge there. But like, some of my friends played on summer baseball teams with guys from South, and I was from Central. But yeah. Back then you didn't have those relationships. You didn't know each other. Southeast Saline might as well have been in Wichita, and now it's really part of Salina.
But on to the pranks. This is before when I was in high school, but apparently Manhattan High kids would go over to Junction City, and this is back when both teams had grass fields. They'd paint a big red M on the field, because when we played Junction City, we'd wear red out. They were blue too.
Obviously.
And it was cool. It was always a one-time thing. You'd wear red. It was awesome. But apparently that was a thing. And I heard this from someone I knew that went to Junction City when I was in high school, and their spirit squad, I think she was a part of it, and she said, oh yeah, the Junction City spirit squad would paint the M on there to motivate their players. And I don't know if I believe that, but it wouldn't surprise me. If it was like...
You went to high school when?
07 to 11.
That feels like the time where people would have been like, maybe we shouldn't vandalize things.
Right.
So I could see it being very
like
possible.
the coach getting together with the spirit squad saying, I want you to do this.
Yeah.
Like the end of that. So 06, I think, was the last time that a red M got painted on a field or near a field or off to the side or something. But 07 comes around. I'm a freshman. 07 season, home game at Manhattan, and there was word like they were going to retaliate. So like Manhattan kids, they were going to stake out the stadium. Like the night after they painted the field like Thursday night, they were going to stake it out Thursday night. But I think administration said, no, you can't turn the lights on all night. You can't stay there. Nothing's going to happen. It'll be fine. Oh, they were wrong. It got like, I don't know what they spray painted because it was all covered up by the game with like blue spray paint, but like it was just splotchy all over the field. But they wrote a lot of things on the field. Wow. And then both teams got turf, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, because nobody wants to damage that.
Now then you're into criminal things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't really In Salina.
Zach went to a real high school.
I went to a real high school.
Let's be honest here. I grew up in Salina, the hard streets of Salina. Nobody wanted to mess with Fitz.
Yeah, that's okay.
I had a friend with tattoos.
I knew a guy.
I knew a guy that had tattoos.
They weren't afraid of 115-pound Fitz.
Did he do them in his garage?
He did him. He moved from New York. They were legitimate, they look like prison tattoos. They were like a bunch of drunken 14-year-olds did them.
Nice.
Actually, he moved in junior high, so yeah, he had tattoos in junior high. But they were like, here's a goldfish on my hand. Oh my God, you're mean. You're terrifying. He was a badass. He actually was a badass. Went on to be in the Navy. He might be listening to this.
I doubt it.
No, he does. He's kind of become a K-State fan after he asked me. He tweeted at me, what do I do? I mean, he wasn't an officer in the Navy. He went from high school. He was an incredibly intelligent guy. And I later found out he was the guy with his finger on the button. That was his job. He was on nuclear submarines, and he was a warhead operator. But he's retired now, as you can do from the Navy. He said, what do I do? I'm a Navy guy. I really don't like officers, but I'm a Navy guy, and I love K-State. I said, dude, Navy's your thing. You cheer for Navy. That's you. Those are your people. So he didn't respond, so I think he's going to cheer for K-State. Anyhow, we were tough. I mean, not like... Well, we weren't tough. But we thought we were. And that's really what counted in our hearts. Don't mess with Salina Central. Go Mustangs.
From KSU number 1, how wrong is Riley on his extreme hot take about Call Hall? And Riley's going to read this hot take.
In case you guys missed it, Zach posted a story that Call Hall hasn't made ice cream in a month. I didn't read the story. Well, gist of it.
Their machine broke down, and since it was like an older machine, they decided to upgrade to a different type of machine that's apparently safer, but they have to train everybody on it. By January, it'll probably be nice.
No, here's
it's fine.
Before we get into this is what amazed me about it, is it takes that long to get it, that long to get it installed, that long to get everyone trained. It's like, don't they have to sell those on Amazon? Can't you buy?
Can you buy an industrial-sized ice cream machine on Amazon?
Hand crank.
Right. No, like industrial-sized, comes with Prime, so it's free delivery, and it shows up on Thursday.
It'd be nice.
And by the following Monday, everyone's trained. It's making ice cream.
They probably paid the standard shipping price. That's why it's taken so long.
Well, I'm just surprised the state of Kansas had any money to buy anything.
So then somebody said the GPC crew is going to start hoarding Call Hall ice cream, which then inflicted this response out of me. I said, quote, hottest of K-State hot takes. Call Hall ice cream is delicious, and I'll certainly never turn it down. But I'm not going to go out of my way to go get it. We have a Baskin-Robbins just down the street from the office, and I'd gladly go there if I wanted ice cream. I never understood the craze about it. It was really good, but it didn't taste special to me. Boo! I think everyone loves it so much because it's the, quote, popular thing that they sell you on your campus visit.
Boo! Here's what I take issue with Riley's statement.
We fight the tough battles at Go Power Cat.
He called it delicious. It's not delicious. It's okay. It is okay ice cream.
It is ice cream.
It is... Boo! Look, yes, it is amazing that we can make ice cream right here in Manhattan, Kansas. But it is not the best ice cream I have ever had.
I don't mean any disrespect to anybody that is in the agricultural field that at K-State, that worked at Call Hall, that had great experiences or whatever in Call Hall.
Oh, man, that's rubbish.
There's nothing about the ice cream that is any different than the Baskin-Robbins ice cream, than the Cold Stone ice cream.
It's worse. That's what's different about it.
Interesting.
Oh, boy.
So, look.
Rubbish.
I just think Call Hall is one of those things that K-State people look at through purple shaded glasses. Oh, it's great. Why? Well, they have this purple ice cream. Well, does it taste like grapes or something? No, it's Wildcat flavor. Like, what's the Purple Pride? What does that taste like? I mean, it's just ice cream.
I don't think
I thought it was good. If you called me and said, hey, I'm driving to Call Hall, or I have Call Hall, you want some? sure. I'm not going to go risk a $50 parking ticket to get Call Hall ice cream.
Unbelievable. When your powers combine, you are somehow even more stupid than the sum of your stupids.
Thank you.
Go on.
What was that?
That was a gulp. That was a legitimate gulp. GoPowerKit.com would like to apologize to anyone offended by the previous takes. And is it physically possible to have a hot take on ice cream?
Oh, man, probably going to get some letters about that, huh?
I'll say this. I've had Call Hall ice cream less than a handful of times. I remember having it once in college. I might have had it twice in my life, now I think about it. And it was good. I remember thinking, this is really good ice cream. But living in Manhattan now for more than 20 years, I assume this was in the local newspaper, the
Yes.
Manhattan Mercury. We no longer take it because of things, but I do the online thing, and I don't do it very often. I have heard no one in town talking about it being shut down.
I didn't even know until I read the article.
Yeah,
and it had been
exactly.
shut down for a month.
Until Zach said something, I didn't have a clue that it was shut down.
That's why I posted to the board. I was like, hey, guys.
Who is it, Dara's that has it?
I think they do. Or that's where, like, when I was a kid.
Call Hall ice cream in the coolers.
When I was
thought
a
you meant the
kid,
newspaper.
We'd go to Dara's.
Where can you find that newspaper?
We'd go to Dara's a lot after baseball games or whatever, and a lot of times, you'd get a slushie because going to Dara's and getting a slushie is the big thing. But sometimes you're like, I want ice cream. I want the real thing. I don't want air fluffed ice with a Pepsi flavor in it. I want some vanilla ice cream, which Call Hall is better than a Dara's slushie. I will say that. But it's all right.
Look, they had it at the
your
door.
problem is really the vanilla. I'm a vanilla ice cream guy. If you don't do vanilla ice cream all in on the vanilla, you're not doing it right.
They serve Call Hall at the Derb. At least they did when I was a freshman. At dinner, they would serve a couple tubs, and when it was out, it was out. So you could go up and scoop the tub out, get a couple scoops. Yeah, it was fine. But if they would have had Blue Bunny or any other ice cream, I think it would have tasted very, very similar. There was never a long clamoring line to get the Call Hall.
I'm going to just say this right now as we end this discussion before we lose subscribers. Okay, boomers.
Free podcast.
Okay, boomers.
Very good.
Okay,
Moving on.
From K-Ned. Well, this
We're still talking about ice cream.
We're still talking about it.
Oh,
Fitz and
God.
Zach, rank your favorite Call Hall ice cream. Riley, rank your favorite ice cream in Manhattan.
I can't do it.
Straight up, I love just a good mint chocolate chip from Baskin-Robbins.
Just my favorite ice creams are vanilla, chocolate chip, chocolate, Rocky Road, and sherbets. I like a nice fruity sherbet.
Give me a mint chocolate chip or a cookies and cream from anywhere.
That sounds like about a third of what Baskin-Robbins serves.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Birthday cake.
if it's there, you'll eat it. Flavor of the month, maybe not for you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
what's the flavor of the month? Shoes.
Don't put pecan in my ice
Don't
cream.
want that. Don't put it in my pie or my ice cream.
There's one at Baskin-Robbins one time. It was like Rainbow Blast something or other, and it had every color out there. And I was like, that doesn't even look good.
It'd look good to an 8-year-old.
It looks like it would do bad things when I end up processing it out later.
That probably is their. I wonder what their target
I'm sure
market.
it's the target.
They look up and see. Oh, that one has
colors. Like, that's what it would be.
It's the ice cream version of a van, a puppy, and a candy bar. Just trying to get the little kids inside.
That's how they sell birthday
The
cake
legal
flavored
version.
ice cream.
It shouldn't be legal. You shouldn't be doing that to the little kids, giving them something they want. That's so unfair. It's just wrong. What has happened to society that we're trying to entice children by influencing them with advertising?
It's like that SNL sketch.
Now, let's say a man, he pulls up into the school parking lot, and he's in a van, and he offers you some candy.
Ooh, I like candy.
Well, we all like candy, but the question is, what should you do?
Whatever it takes to get that candy.
Oh, God. I like fans. A puppy? Oh, my God. No, you don't get in the van. But what if I need to go somewhere?
I don't think I've had any other flavor than... I think I probably had Purple Pride once and been like... Well,
I had chocolate one time.
All right, that's the flagship.
There was the greatest description of all time of a former SID at Kansas State in which the AD at the time said, I'm not saying he's boring, but he's the kind of guy that goes to 31 flavors and gets vanilla. And that was a really apt description of this individual who was incredibly just toast. No margarine or jelly on this toast, just toast. That was his personality. But I do love a good vanilla.
Stop putting free scoops of Call Hall in kids' campus visit folders and see what happens to the amount of craze about Call Hall. I bet it would drop. I bet it would drop.
It's good marketing. I appreciate it. Look, Call Hall is an institution. It's part of the K-State experience. We all love it because it's ours. So I hope they get back up and running. And maybe with new equipment,
maybe it tastes better.
Maybe we'll see something different here. There is something to be said about the freshness. Dairy immediately into the... I get it. I might want to say, you might want to start putting, like, little gold tickets, like Willy Wonka, and all the kids will start coming.
And what would this golden ticket...
Like, what can you see?
Give us a tour.
Are you telling me they have Oompa Loompas at Call Hall?
Well,
tell me how they're going to eliminate 4 of the winners.
What's the song? What's the Oompa Loompa song?
Oompa Loompa.
But you got to come up with your own lyrics.
I don't know.
Who's the brat that turns into a blueberry?
Well, I don't know who the winning kids are. I'm aspiring to be Willie. What are you talking about? Of course, Willie would probably be like a man with a cat head. Willie Catwonka.
Getting the crew together isn't as easy as it used to be. We get it. Life comes at you fast. But trust us, your pals are desperate for a good hang. And when they hear you stock the party with drinks from Drizzly, they'll be banging down your door. Let Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery, take care of the supplies. All you need is an excuse. It doesn't even have to be a good one. It's your dog's birthday. The loquats are finally ripe. Whatever. With Drizzly, you can compare prices on a massive selection of beer, wine, and spirits and get them delivered straight to your door. Which means you can entice the crew to leave their houses without ever leaving yours. Whatever the occasion, download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
Imagine the softest sheets you've ever felt. Now imagine them getting even softer over time. I'm here to tell you about Boll & Branch and how you can discover this new level of softness with their iconic sheets. In a recent customer survey, 96% responded that Boll & Branch sheets get softer with every wash. They source the rarest 100% organic cotton for an incredible softness to start. Then they skip the toxins and harsh chemicals for a natural feel unlike anything else, and it all comes together with their signature weave. This special design feels buttery, breathable, and unlocks new levels of softness with every wash, and they stand behind their promise of softness. With their 30-night guarantee, you can wash, style, and sleep in their sheets for an entire month. If during the 30 nights, you don't love your sheets or feel them getting softer and softer, you can send them right back. No questions asked. So head to bollandbranch.com for 15% off your first order with code Odyssey. That's BOLL and branch.com. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
From Exhausted Nihilist. This is what you walked in on, what we were talking about before the podcast. True story. I ordered some pants online from a department store.
Okay.
And inside the package was an extra... I like how he puts in parentheses women's size 5 pair of thong underwear. They won't fit my wife.
Hold up. I want to know something. Were they new? Or were they...
He says they will not fit his wife. He thinks his daughter is a tad young to be wearing that style. What should he do with them? He says return them to the store, offer them to a friend, or a stranger. I think they will fit.
I got a solution. Don't do the stranger thing, because you're going to definitely insult somebody. But
ma'am, would you like a pair of thong?
You are playing
with
like a
fire. Size 5.
You are playing with fire. If you believe, I'm gonna tell you how to parent. I'm gonna assume that his daughter is under 18, I'm guessing.
Hell no, I'm not giving my daughter thong underwear.
Right, and I'm not saying he should. I'm saying if she's under 18 and a size 5 will fit her when she is 18, that's a hilarious birthday present. You wrap that up, you make sure her friends are around, you make sure family is around, and you give your daughter thong underwear and see how uncomfortable she is.
No,
when
you
she
do that now.
No, I think 18, because you're like, honey, you're 18, you're an adult, you can dress as you want, you can make decisions on your own.
Oh, but you're making it seem like it's a joke gift. So if it's a joke gift, do it now.
I think it's hilarious because then if he doesn't want his daughter wearing thong underwear later down the road, every time she would take some to go buy, that would enter her mind how weird it was that her dad gave her thong underwear.
Not bad, actually. I probably would make it a white elephant gift. Because if you have a gift exchange, just throw it in. Like someone threw it into your slacks.
And then see who
Do you think someone at the shipping center said, I'm going to...
Dude, yes. That doesn't happen by accident.
I'm going to totally screw with this dude.
That's somebody just playing a joke.
That's someone trying to get you divorced. But I take issue with your sentence here because there is some clarification needed here. He says, inside the package there was an extra.
Yeah.
An extra pair. As if there was more than what he initially ordered.
So did you order these thong underwear?
So what
Like
he
he
meant
was
to say was,
planning
in
on it.
addition to my slacks, there was one pair of thong underwear.
I think that's what he means. But the way he phrased it is, I got more thong underwear than I was anticipating.
I ordered a pair of slacks and then some extra large male thong underwear. And then there was an extra pair of thong underwear in there. Why is it a pair of underwear? There's only one pair of socks I get.
That's a good question.
2 legs.
Because they say.
A pair of pants.
Because that's what they've been forever, and we don't know whoever did it first, but we're going to roll with it.
You need 2 legs to wear underwear, right?
Not really. No, not really.
But underwear is a singular item.
But you're putting both your legs through it. That's
Yeah,
where
but they
pair
don't call
comes
it.
from.
They don't call it leg wear.
You put your pair. Yeah, because they're called
underwear.
pants.
It's underwear. What does it do? It is under your clothes. One pair,
Folks, go ahead.
of underwear doesn't make sense.
Folks, this is the kind of hard-hitting, thought-provoking crap you get from the Overtime Podcast. If you haven't listened to us before, we will expand your horizons.
Just wear them yourself. It's 2019.
Just do it.
Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do.
Change your handle to Exhausted Nihilist with a thong.
Oh man, now he's gonna do it.
No, just can you put parentheses in a username? Just Exhausted Nihilist thong.
Maybe you could just be Thong Nihilist from now on.
No.
From Wizard6294, change my mind. Wings are overrated. He says boneless, pretty much chicken nuggets covered in sauce and can be pretty pricey. Bone-in, kind of a pain in the $$ to eat. Can be messy and also can be pricey.
I'm not going to disagree with his takes there that, yes, they're nuggets covered in sauce, and I don't like to eat bone-in wings in public because they are messy. But I will disagree that they are overrated because at the end of the day, they are pricey, covered in sauce chicken nuggets, but damn it, I love them. They are so good.
Boneless?
Yeah.
My problem with nuggets is they're kind of like pressed chicken.
You mean boneless wings? They're not nuggets.
They are, for lack of a better term, if you want to be critical of them, sure. But
It's
they
like
are not.
calling someone.
But like chicken strips are are like strips of chicken,
yeah,
breaded, and really nuggets are like formed, processed. Sometimes, God knows what parts of the chicken they're using.
It's just. Well, it's all white meat. It's ground up, pressed into shapes, fried, served at your local fast food
drive-thru. Not all are
drive-thru.
white meat, and that's kind of the problem. But I'll say this. Look, people, there are farms in America where we send the chickens that have had their wings removed so that you can eat them. Just fields and fields of wingless chickens. walking around because you had to have chicken wings.
Yeah.
More than the demand for body chicken parts.
That's not
Like boneless wings, Fitz? Like boneless wings? You can make boneless wings out of them?
Well, yeah, they could remove the bones from the chicken, and then those can live for a while, and that got confusing. But I think if they're really good chicken wings, like there's some substance to them, they're amazing. And here's a hot take. I like the flats better.
Ugh, you would.
You just snap off the one bone, and you got a bunch of chicken right there.
So maybe the experience of wings, I could agree, might be overrated.
It's kind of like
the
eating
taste
ribs.
of them is not.
Yeah. I prefer, this is where I kind of agree with them, I prefer to dip into my sauce and my ranch or blue cheese, whatever I'm eating, than have them all saucy and just get it everywhere. Because I'm a princess.
All right.
There we go. I said it. I don't like to have messy hands.
They're not overrated. If you like buffalo sauce
or honey barbecue or garlic parmesan like I had this weekend.
Do you like sauce on chicken that is not a dipping sauce? If yes, they're not overrated.
That's fair.
And guess what? If you don't like buffalo sauce, you can still get the wings without the sauce. If you want to be one of those.
There you go.
If you don't like chicken, fine. Maybe they're overrated. Just remember that Darren Ravel once blocked Riley Gates on Twitter over a chicken wing.
He did.
That's what it was about.
It was the day
the day ESPN laid off 100 employees, including some people we knew. Darren Ravel tweeted about the inflated price of wings at Buffalo Wild Wings and how they had gone up. And I quote tweeted it and said, "Real journalists are losing their jobs while Darren Ravel is allowed to tweet about chicken wings." And I was very quickly blocked. I have since been unblocked because I pled my case to him on Instagram. I slid into his Instagram DMs.
Oh, for God's sake.
And he unblocked me. What a nerd. Darren, if you're listening to this, you're a nerd.
That was a tone-deaf take on that day to do that.
Yeah.
That's just horrible. Anyhow, we always are in pursuit of the truth at GoPowerCat.com.
Hell yeah.
So we will make sure we ask someone about this, and I think there's only one person that we could ask. Coach Courtney Messy Hands. I screwed up. Messy Hands.
Damn it! I screwed it up.
No.
Oh. Damn it. Mad. Set it up and then fumbled at the goal line. Jalen Hurts the crap out of that thing.
Oh, my God.
It's a fumble.
From Schultz M43, what was your favorite sports moment of the decade? For me personally, it was my beloved Royals winning the World Series, but if you asked me to remove my bias, it would be the kick six. I kind of agree with the World Series, because I went to Game 1, and that was one of the most memorable sporting events I've ever been to. That plus 2012, I went to the U.S. Open Cup final, Sporting KC. They won in penalty shootout. That was a fun game to go to because that was kind of the moment that Sporting KC was back, so to speak. They rebranded, they built the new stadium. They were starting to have a lot of success, and that was kind of the start of that run there.
It's good.
But if you're not I'm just counting things that I went to, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to separate. I was trying to look at it from two angles. Number one, as a fan, and number two, since I was in high school this decade and we had success, those are some of my favorite as well. So I was trying to look at it from different angles. From the high school angle, was winning state, basketball and golf. From the fan angle, I have to say either going to the U.S. Open this year was really fun because I was spitting distance from Tiger Woods, which is something that was always up here for me. I can't put the World Series on there. Because I just don't, at the end of the day, I just don't like baseball enough. That's just me. I'm not saying you're wrong to put it on there. So...
But even if you went to the games,
I was at the
if you didn't even go to the games, if you were in Manhattan, like Aggieville was
it was great,
awesome.
It was great.
Playoffs.
Well, I guess that era is my favorite sports. It's the year Tanner's opened. They opened when the World Cup was a big deal.
14.
They opened when the Royals were turning the corner, and it was so much fun. I'm not even a soccer person, and those matches were so much fun to go watch. And, just the bar was packed. But, on top of that, you had the Royals getting to the World Series. But then when they probably, the most memorable bar moment is when they came back and beat the A's in the wild card, because it was just so wild. Wild card game. And then... But just winning. I was unfortunate the night they won the World Series. I won the World Series. I was working, and then I got off for the end of it and went to Tubby's. I think is where we finished up watching it.
I think them winning on a Sunday killed my excitement.
I was putting out a magazine, and so. But as someone, look, the reality is, as a K-Stater, you kind of give up a big part of your fanhood. You're covering games. You're not there cheering on games. You have magical games to cover. I mean, really, it's incredible to be covering some of them. But being plugged in as a fan, really, all I've got is the Royals and Chiefs, and more so the Royals growing up for whatever reason. I associate that more with childhood memories. We never went to Chiefs games when I was a kid, which is weird because my dad was a football coach. You'd think he'd prefer that. But we'd always take summer destination things to go to Kansas City and go to Royals and do stuff there. So seeing the Royals win another World Series, because the 85 World Series was incredible at the fraternity house, but to see that as an adult, that's clearly mine.
Side note, I think the last 5 Chiefs games I went to, one of those games, Joe Montana was probably still a quarterback.
Damn, dude. I've probably gone to more Chiefs games this year than Zach has in the last
You've been to a lot.
10. I've been to 2 this year.
I think I've been to 1 Chiefs game this century.
I consider that a lot.
Or not one. Yeah, this century, yeah.
Here's my hot take. I'm not into the whole day-long experience. We're going to tailgate for 3 hours, go to the game, stay in the lot, and tailgate some more. I'm just too old and tired. I've cooked. I've yelled. I've come back. I've cleaned up. I've had more beers. Shouldn't be driving. Someone had to come along to drive because now they're sober and they've been sober for 8 hours watching us have fun. Game's over. Turn off the TV. That's what's the problem with attendance now.
You are the problem, Fitz.
I am the entire problem with attendance at sporting events because even my TV is too good to pass up at times. I just saw this. I showed it to my wife, and I could see her wheels turning. There was a 65-inch Samsung. It was just a couple generations older for less than $500 at Best Buy.
Fitz, you have a TV problem.
You do.
You
really do.
I do.
It's a problem.
Well, these TVs we have in our office, like we got a Toshiba in here in the studio, which how often it's been on?
We watched the Royals for a few podcasts.
We did.
After we got it installed.
Yeah,
it's because we record it.
But this TV, this Toshiba was $120 or something. It's 32-inch TV. I mean, I buy them when they're dirt cheap. Buy them on Amazon sale because it's an Amazon. It's a Fire TV. I've got those. What's that? TCL? Is that the brand that's on the lobby?
Yeah,
TCL. I mean, I'm sure they make TVs for other name brands, but it's a 4K 50-inch TV in our lobby that doesn't ever get to play regular TV. It plays highlights.
Plays a slideshow. Of pictures that are in the studio.
Eventually, when we have the Go PowerCat channel on WTC, I think we're going to have it. I've got a plan. It'll be on that. Go PowerCat TV. Imagine a world in which a provider has Go PowerCat TV.
Hooray!
Next question is from Adam K63. If you named a bowl from your hometown, what would you name it?
This was a thread, wasn't it?
Yeah, I started it because I saw a tweet, but I didn't think either of you two participated. So, well, mine would be, like I posted, it's either the Banner Burger Bar Bowl. Not that Banner's really all that great anymore, but that was kind of, it's a Beloit thing. Or the Cruisin' Mill Street Bowl, which is apparently what my mom and dad did when they were in high school, is they would just drive up and down one street, and that was cool.
We did that.
And they were allowed to drink.
We did that with Santa Fe and Salina. Yeah.
So then now every year,
Who's the Fe?
Every year during Memorial Day's in May, right? Yeah. Memorial Day weekend, everybody comes back, and they do a weekend of Cruisin' Mill again. It's like everybody goes and does this, right? But there's so many people that want to do it again that they're like inches from each other. They're like, you're not going 20 miles an hour even. You're going like 5. And you can't drink because cops are, you know what now?
Enforcing the law.
Well, yeah.
Can't drink now.
Well, I'm just saying if you're going to recreate those memories.
I'm from Salina. You can only have one bowl in Salina, the Tony's Pizza Bowl.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
That actually sounds like a real bowl.
Well, didn't Tony's sponsor some? No, that's Little Caesars.
Center.
Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. That's what it was.
But the Bicentennial Center is now the
Tony's Pizza event.
What did he play in the Bi Center?
A football game?
An indoor football game?
They did.
They don't have enough room in there to play a football game?
They did indoor football, is what I'm saying.
Football?
Well, that's not a bowl game, guys. It's a whole different sport.
Well, you could
Arena Bowl.
Could you do something to the?
Yeah, they played indoor football there. They had an indoor football.
I'm saying,
team,
yeah.
But no, I mean,
not real football.
You'd have to play it.
Please respect the
At
Bombers.
Salina Stadium, which should be renamed Terrence Newman Stadium, but half the town doesn't want to do it.
Sounds like a different rant.
I don't even think that's a real rant. I think I'm making it up.
Cozy Inn Burger, the Cozy Inn Bowl.
That's another good one. That's a good one. Cozy Inn Bowl.
Martinelli's Bowl.
That's a modern one. Martinelli's Bowl.
No, that's only something Zach wants.
That's all I want.
It's only something Zach wants.
I want Martinelli's to come to Manhattan. Can we have a low Martinelli's location in Manhattan? And look, I'll be honest. I like Martinelli's a lot. It's kind of it's the thing to do. It's right in the middle of Santa Fe. It's okay. Some things are better than other things, but it's just the whole vibe and everything about it. It's a family Italian place.
I like how you say Italian. It's so Kansan.
I love family Italian. Italian.
You're so white.
Okay, boomer.
Zach, would it be the Vista Burger Bowl? Why do I keep...
It's the Dave Dreiling HCI Hospitality and Wolf Stay and Play Bowl. I love Dave.
Oh, my God.
It's the Hospitality and Wolf Stay Play Bowl.
The Dave Dreiling part. You got to go with something that's just traditional. And that...
The Johnny Cobb Bowl. And I don't mean that because of the bar. I'm talking about the statue.
There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
Because you can put them on a giant mountain. I don't know.
It's very close to Paul Bunyan's axe, though.
Hey, there's a lot of Big Ten trophies that you're like, that's pretty similar. From Purple Powerhouse, what is your top Christmas movie? And for him, it is a tie between Scrooged and Christmas Vacation.
What's Scrooged? Is it just another...
It's a Bill Murray, right?
Scrooge.
It's a modernized version of Scrooge.
I've never liked the Scrooge story.
It looks like there's a British one that's coming out that looks
It's
amazing.
Christmas Vacation, hands down.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm disappointed. It is Bill Murray. You're right. I'm disappointed in myself that I haven't seen Christmas Vacation yet this year. It's usually on TV.
Christmas Vacation, Elf, and
Who has
Die
the
Hard.
rights?
Oh, okay. We're going to start that, huh? I don't really have a hot take on it. I just want to pretend like I did.
I read an argument online that Die Hard is not technically a Christmas movie. It's a Harry Potter movie because of Alan Rickman.
I mean, hell, it's the same premise there. It's Christmas Vacation.
Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Those are mine.
The sequel, huh?
The sequel is arguably better than the first one.
Lost in New York, the streets are numbered.
Because seriously, like, think about it. Home Alone 2, the movie starts out. It's going, good enough. They wake up. Their alarms are going off. We did it again! Because the power went out. It's just so campy. They did the same plot line happen again. And he gets... he makes it to the airport this time. They're like, yes, Kevin is going to make it to his family's vacation for Christmas in Florida. And where does he get to go? New York, which is cold and it has Christmas trees. It's just what he wanted. He has a better time than he would have had in Florida by himself. And he runs into the same guys who ruined his last Christmas. And he has to set them all up. They didn't learn their lesson from the first year. He does it all again. He gets found. Everything's great. He's happier.
Every reason you just listed for why it's your favorite is why I don't like Home Alone.
Every reason you just listed applies to The Hangovers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, Kevin is the grown-up version of himself in The Hangover, and it happened again the second time.
That's all I have to say. That's why I don't like it.
I'm watching, when we were in the Miracle on Morrow, a.k.a. the High-Low, they play Christmas movies, they play Christmas music, and Home Alone was what was playing. And it struck me that this is really a Two Stooges movie. If you've ever watched The Three Stooges, basically Joe Pesci and Daniel...
I couldn't tell you what their names are. Well, Joe Pesci, I couldn't tell you what his name is, yeah.
Daniel, whatever, are Two Stooges. I mean, it's basically what the premise is. It's a Stooges movie.
Yeah.
I was looking it up.
I just want angels with filthy souls and angels with even filthier souls to be made into legitimate mob movies.
I don't know what that is.
The movie where he's playing lines, he's rewinding, fast forwarding through all these lines while people are in the other room and they hear it, but they think it's real, and he's going to shoot everybody up.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you to the count of 10 to get your lion. No good, keister out my door. 1, 2, 10, and shoots him up with his Tommy gun, and
yes,
those should be real movies.
She's a beaut, Clark. She's a beaut.
I think this is the last question of the podcast.
This sucker is long.
From Ema Wildcat 82, what are the Go Power Cat meet and greet locations in Memphis?
Have we finalized it yet?
No, we haven't. In fact, I had a location, and then they neglected to tell us that our friends at K-Man were there, and I'm like, well, that's good. You can go to that bar. I mean, so we're trying to talk to someone next door, but they haven't responded. So I might have to move on to someone next door to the next door.
We are in the process of setting it up. We will have something.
And honestly, that Power Cat Game Day location, they were at, what's it called? I totally forgot.
Silky O'Sullivan's.
Silky O'Sullivan's. That's where Power Cat Game Day came in. We'll be doing their shows. I was part of that for a lot of years. So I have some deference to what they do. Even if they're associated with their competition now, it's a great K-State tradition, Power Cat Game Day. So I respect that. And Silky O'Sullivan's, who I didn't realize was their bar in 2016, so I emailed. The woman was very receptive. She was willing to do it. I'm like, no, we kind of need our own spot. I mean, you'll be crowded with them. There's going to be enough K-Staters where we can do multiple bars. Because when we had our event at the Tin Roof in 16, we had the upstairs and it was packed.
Yep.
And it really wasn't any more than, hey, we're just going here. And we're going to do something more formal. So we're attempting to talk to a bar. Hopefully, as I walk out of this room, I'll have a return email from her. Hopefully. But it looked like a cool place. If not, we'll hit up the Tin Roof again. It's a little corporate, but it was good. It was okay.
As long as they serve alcohol, I'm cool with it.
As long as it's not Wet Willie's Margarita Bar that Katie Johnston took us to.
Where it all went south for you and her? I was still around at that stop, wasn't I?
I don't think anything went south.
I think he just didn't like it.
No, I thought that's where Katie drank everyone's drink.
Oh.
Like, none of us liked our drinks, so she finished everyone's drink. And it went south for her very quickly.
I don't remember anything after that bar, to be honest.
There you go. That explains.
I think we went home.
When were you walking around and people thought you were
That was New Year's Eve. There was a media event at Rendezvous, so like all of the media were invited to eat dinner at Rendezvous one of the nights, and I think it was New Year's Eve, so they're having their big celebration. But I don't know. Katie and I were like, let's go walk around and see it. Not one, but two dudes fist bump me and say nice as we're walking by, like
as if to assume he is with her in a romantic setting.
Poor Katie.
She loved it. Her ego
Of course she did.
Her ego was stroked.
God, I wish she was coming on this trip because we would get to Memphis so freaking fast. It was that trip in which Katie and I bonded because we were in the front seat coming back. She had finished up her work earlier. Everyone else had stayed up late, and we left at, 7 in the morning or something out of Memphis. And she had the most sleep, so she drove. And she drove like a bat out of hell. It's like you are at your soul a Fitzgerald. This is how the women in my family drive. We got through the Ozarks. She's dipping and diving through those roads. That's when we had the big old Hemi engine in that Durango, and she was flying around people on 2-lane highways. Oh, man, it was glorious.
Man, that was the one time that I've seen Fritch defer. Well, not defer. I don't know how to say it. He took a better seating option than what he usually takes.
So we had 5 of us on that trip.
Yeah. Well, on the way back, we did.
Yeah, on the way back, we had 5 of us. And so we had to stack the bags. We had one of the back seats up, and we had to stack the bags up. And then there was bags in the middle of I looked up in the mirror, and I could see this before we were even in motion. We're not even out of the parking lot. We've just loaded him into the back because that's usually where he likes to. It's just kind of his own space. He's got a charger right there, but he is completely surrounded by bags, and it's claustrophobic. And his eyes are enormous. And I'm like, Fritz, you okay? He goes, no, I got to get out of here. So he had to sit in one of the middle seats.
So I sat in the back the entire trip, and I don't want to do that again.
Nope, only 4 of us going. Only 4 of us. Well, our 5th, Steve Adelson, will meet us there to shoot photos. But the 4 full-timers are going in the Durango with plenty of room and all of my favorite channels on SiriusXM.
Ugh.
I will let Zach will probably be the co-pilot, right?
I mean, if I'm driving, we'll listen to Hits 1 for
exactly.
I'm
fine with Hits 1. I just got to listen to my 70s on 7 and Classic Rewind.
I'm just happy that I don't have to drive as much as I normally do.
Nope. The train leaves here at 7 a.m. on the 27th, hopefully getting into Memphis around 4. And we will let you know where we will be, what we're doing. And if you follow me on Twitter, if I'm out and about, you will know it because I've got a problem. I tweet too much. That's the end of the podcast. Go away.
You've been listening to the PowerCat Overtime Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. PowerCat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.
If you want to win your fantasy football league, it starts right now. The offseason is the best time to get ahead of the competition. We'll help you win your league on the Fantasy Football Today podcast, part of CBS Sports Podcast Network. Fantasy Football Today has 3 episodes every week following the latest news, giving you early rankings, early sleepers, breakouts, and busts. So if you're a dedicated fantasy football manager, check out the most dedicated podcast, Fantasy Football Today. Download and follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere podcasts are found.